Hey everybody, this is PK Flynn. This is the second video of how to make these envelopes. This time I'm going to show you how to make one for the small sets. Real quick though, I just wanted to show you these dimensions of these. Most of the sets can be made like this. So first off, this is the new spring set envelope. And so it is 8.5 by 8.5. And then the side flaps, 2.5, 2.5, top and bottom, 3 7/8, 3 7/8, and then this little lip here, this distance, I cut it at 2 3/4. So that's the new spring sets. The large sets, that was the one I did the video on. It's bigger, so 9.5, 9.5, perfect square, right? And then the side flaps, 3 1/4, 3 1/4. 4, 4, and then where I cut this little lip here, this is 3 1/4. So that one would look like that. And I can always tell where the top is because I round that. Okay, petite sets, 8.5 by 8.5, 2 7/8 on each side, 3 5/8, 3 5/8. And then this little area is 3. Okay, so I use a normal paper slicer for that to make the square, whatever the dimensions are. And then I come over here, and to do the edge, I find, so in this case 2 7/8, I find that and make a line here to make a groove. And I do that with all of the edges, okay? And then those fold, and that's how that works, just as a review. This time, this is different. For the retired small sets, it's just the dimensions are so out of proportion that the square formula doesn't work. So I'm going to show you how to do this one real quick. Okay, so this is actually, instead of it being a perfect square, it's 8 by 7.5. And you have to imagine that these aren't cut out yet, okay? So one side is 8, and the other side 7.5. It doesn't matter, that's coming back anyway. Okay. And then this time, we don't need this little triangle. Let's see, is that how I'm doing it? Yeah. This will create a crease that will make it fold perfectly. So, these little sides are 6/8. Let's see, 4, 5, 6. Just be gentle when you're doing this. You can make holes in your paper real easily, which I've done. 6/8. And then, let's see, there's the sides. So now I'm doing the top. And this is 2 1/8. 1, 2 1/8. Do the bottom. 2, 1, 2. Sorry, my phone went crooked there. And I think that's pretty much it. There we go. I guess I didn't push hard enough on this one. There we go. you just fold that up. As you can see on my template, I went ahead and cut out these corners, but you don't have to. It's taken me a few tries to find out the best way to do this. And you use your little, I guess, tape roller, glue roller, and get these sides. There you go. Fold that up. Usually I do use this thing. Kind of forgot. Not so much to set the glue, of course, but just to crease the edges a little better. And then actually, I did that backwards. So I was cutting out, put this up. I was cutting out these little flaps. So do that first. Don't mess it up like I'm messing it up, but just in the interest of time, let's just get this done. Now, it's nice to make it all perfect and pretty, but remember how your customers tear into their packages, right? So when they tear into this, they're going to just tear in. They may not even see an edge here, although if you find it's off, you can take that off, but really it doesn't matter. Okay. And I like the edges to look finished. So, paper puncher with basically it's an edger to round your edges. And there's my set here. Now, I feel like I've made this big enough that I could put another set in here and there would be space. Okay? So there's the envelope. And then what's nice is, you know, I meant to use more of the darker colors on this, and I didn't. But that's okay. So this is light enough. I would just write in my information on here. But if you're using, like, say, really dark stuff like this, you could use some of your scratch paper to make little areas where you could write and it'd be easier to read. Does that make sense? So that's it. That is the envelope for the retired, very small sets. And these are the dimensions again, okay? So 8 across the top, and it goes all the way out here, right, to 8. 7.25 up and down, and this is the whole length of this paper. Does that make sense? These little flaps on the side are 6/8. And then the top and bottom is different. I just randomly was like, this looks good, and measured it, and it was 2 1/8 on top and 2 on the bottom. And then really you would leave this corner in because it doesn't matter. But I would cut this first, this square out, before folding it up, because I did that after the fact, and it was just a little more awkward. What else can I tell you? I think that's it. Okay, you guys, have a good night.